Hey everybody, I'm Marty Sleva. I'm joined alongside by Brendan Graber.
What's up?
Mitch Dyer.
Howdy.
Brian Altano.
What's up?
We're here to talk about Sunset Overdrive. This is a video game that I enjoyed and I reviewed, so here's what I thought.
Sunset Overdrive is big, gorgeous, and a hell of a lot of fun. Never has getting from point A to point B in an open world game provided so much enjoyment. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to once again adorn my wolf mask, leap off the highest ledge I can find, and fire an explosive stuffed animal at a group of angry robots.
So obviously the style in Sunset Overdrive is amazing. You can see that from first class. That was really good. But the thing you don't really understand until you've put your hands on the game for like an hour or two is just how good it feels. And I saw that. That's why I wrote Turns to Monsters. But yeah, the game just feels good. And you sort of have to wrap your head around it for a little while. But the act of traversal and the combat in the game is just awesome.
And it's not to start. Like, it is
No.
a serious uphill climb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you watch trailers for this, and we talked about this a little bit before, Marty, is that you watch trailers for this, and you're like, wow, that looks super automatic and boring, just the way people are navigating that environment. And what you learn is it's really hard to make Sunset Overdrive look like that.
Yeah.
Because it is a skill-based thing. You do need to know how to engage with, wires. Am I gonna grind? Am I gonna drop down? I'm gonna flip up. I'm gonna air dash. I'm gonna ground stomp. Like, you have all these different skills that you get over the course of the game that keeps your combat and your traversal really interesting, because they're married in a really interesting way.
Sure, yeah.
And that you can use combat and traversal for either.
Yeah.
It did feel kind of slow to me at the very beginning as I was learning, like before I got there's an air dash. I
Yeah.
think that really ties it up in a nice bow.
That's when the game opens up, and that's when you realize, like, oh, the way that this city is constructed, and once you have the air dash, is you can get from, the far west side to the far east side without ever touching the ground.
Yeah,
Which is
you
good.
become a spider monkey, just
Yes,
climbing up
exactly.
like buildings
Ooh, I
as
like
you
that.
fly into
Yeah.
them.
And it's
Yeah.
good, because the moment you touch the ground, Sunset Overdrive kind of becomes this garbage, generic, third-person,
Yeah.
open-world shooter.
And I
Really
think it's
slow
done like
on
that
by
on
design.
purpose. Like,
I mean, they literally say in the tutorial, never go on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, don't go down there, don't
they mean
fight
it.
down there.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because you're gonna get there's just like an unstoppable wave of enemies. Like enemies just come up from the sewers, come out of garbage cans.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
there's
weird
just-
that they almost like they put a bad version of the game underneath the good version of the game.
Yeah.
Like quite literally.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
you fall off the rails, you're down on the bottom playing a generic third-person shooting
Yeah.
game. And you get back up on top, and it's like, holy shit, this is Tony Hawk with guns.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And it feels great. The guns, obviously this is Insomniac. They did the Ratchet and Clank series and Resistance, so they know how to do really cool, interesting guns. And you unlock things, and you sort of start building these own combos in your mind. Like I would use, there's like a freeze bomb, so I would be grinding above enemies and then freezing everyone in place, and then I'd switch to like an acid sprinkler, which is sort of like a mine that you throw down that'll just start spraying acid wildly everywhere, and everyone's frozen in place, and everyone's taking damage from the acid, and it was one of those like, oh, this is really cool, and I sort of just stumbled across this myself.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
really like those kind of combinations that you're able to
That kind of
perform.
engagement too, like when you freeze somebody like that and you set something like that up, it's really cool because that's taken care of, that's solved, and if you're doing like a nighttime defense mission, that's especially helpful.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I solved this.
Yeah.
This combat scenario is taken care of.
Set it and forget
I'm
it.
gonna go over here.
Ron Papil.
Classic.
Yeah.
That guy, yeah. Great man.
Literally no idea.
The king of the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
I think it's like I almost wish they had brought a little of that stuff in a little earlier. Like I think it's sort of a discredit to the amazing game they built that you have to sort of earn.
Yeah.
I think
That
air dash
abilities?
should have been unlocked from the start. in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, totally. Because I think it's for somebody to play it for the first time and sort of be like, this doesn't totally connect with me,
Sure.
and then somebody else like 2 hours in being like, it gets way better. Don't worry. Like once it all starts clicking, it reminds me
My
of
favorite argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play it, man. It sucks for a while, but
Yes, yeah, and that you get that a lot, and it sucks in this game because they're right, the people who would say that.
Sure.
And it reminded me sort of Infamous Second Son in that way, where you start off and you can run up buildings and you do a few things, but by the end of the game, you're flying everywhere and you're doing all the city is just yours to
You're
take
running
over.
up walls and doing all this stuff. you
Yeah,
couldn't do
and
before.
Sunset kind of has that sort of feel to it where it takes a little while to click, but once it gets in, you kind of go, why didn't you let me do that a lot earlier?
Yeah. I think, we all agree, a bit of a barrier to entry, but once you're in mechanically into that game, you are in.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
So that's what we thought of Sunset Overdrive. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This game's amazing. Tell us what you thought. Leave us comments, tweet at us, LO us. Do people still LO?
Yeah, I'm
Just
on Elo
us,
every
right?
It was a
day.
good week.
Yeah. So for everything else Sunset Overdrive, you're already in the right place. IGN.com.